Hey guys, it's Yumna, aka Feel Good Foodie. I love to share wholesome, nutritious meals that make your body feel good. You've seen me make my popular Lebanese tabbouleh, and today what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna share a variation of that recipe but using kale instead of parsley. I make this variation with kale because kale is less mild and less bitter than parsley, so the whole recipe ends up being a lot more palatable. I can never say that word. I can't even try to say palatable, like it's just gotta stay in there. The whole recipe ends up being a lot more palatable for more people. Plus, when you chop it finely, the kale really looks like parsley, so I love the way visually it looks and the way it tastes. This is a modern take on tabbouleh that's easy to throw together within 10 minutes and a few ingredients. So here's what you'll need. 1 bunch of fresh kale, a couple green onions, some small tomatoes or 2 larger ones, bulgur, a little bit of parsley, some mint, lemon juice, olive oil, and salt and pepper. So let's get started. The first step I like to do is to make the dressing, and the dressing is super simple. It's lemon juice and olive oil in equal parts. And then I have here 1/4 cup of bulgur, and what you're gonna do is add that to the lemon juice and olive oil concoction, and then we'll whisk that together. So this bulgur doesn't really need to be cooked, but as soon as you add it to water, it will expand and become twice its size. But instead of adding it to water, I like to add it to lemon juice and olive oil so that it actually enhances the flavor and doesn't water down the dressing. So I'm going to mix all that together, and we'll let that sit while we take care of the fresh ingredients. For the fresh ingredients, we're gonna start by de-stemming kale. So you'll just take it out of the stalk and you go like this. Usually. So you just kind of pull it apart that way. And you'll continue to do that for the rest of the kale. So next we want to wash and dry the kale. It's very important to wash it and dry it thoroughly so that the salad doesn't become soggy. I like to piece them into smaller pieces like that and use a salad spinner bowl to wash it. Now that the kale is washed and thoroughly dried, it's time to get chopping. So I'm just going to take a large knife and go to town. So after some heavy-duty chopping, we've got the kale right here. And really, guys, doesn't it look like parsley? It's amazing. So we're going to transfer this to a bowl and start to assemble the salad. Next, we'll chop the green onions and then transfer that to the bowl. Okay, so I have in here a little bit of parsley and a little bit of mint. We're also going to add that to the mix. So just a whole lot more greens. And the parsley is really not necessary, but I like to add a little bit of an accent to it just to give it that authentic tabbouleh taste. So now we've got some tomatoes, and we're going to chop those up. And I like to chop the tomatoes really small, just so that everything is well blended and you get a little bit of everything in every single bite. Also, it's just the traditional way of showing tabbouleh that everything is super fine, from the parsley to the kale to tomatoes to even the bulgur that we use. So I will transfer all of these tomatoes to the big bowl, and I'm gonna keep some to add it to the top for presentation purposes. I've got a big mess right here, so I'm just gonna wipe it down quickly. And we've got our big bowl of tabbouleh. So if you are going to be serving this in a few hours, what I would recommend is get everything in here, put the tomatoes off to the side or to the bottom of the bowl, and then just have the dressing ready to go. And when you're ready to serve, just toss everything together. So we're gonna check on this bulgur right here, and you can see it actually got thicker than before. It's absorbing all that lemon juice and olive oil, and we're ready to toss it into the kale tabbouleh. We'll pour it in and give everything a good toss. And this is also a good time to season it with some salt and pepper. So now we can just taste it and adjust if we need to add any lemon juice or salt and pepper. So let's see how it tastes. It is perfect, right to my taste. So now to serve this, I'm just gonna transfer it to a prettier bowl and add those reserved tomatoes that we kept earlier, just to give it a little bit of color. And there you have it, a modern take on Lebanese tabbouleh using kale instead of parsley. This recipe is super simple to make, it's vegan, and it's a real treat to have any time of the year. I hope you guys try this recipe, and I hope you like it as much as I do. Thank you for watching. Check out the video description below for a full written recipe. And if you like this recipe, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up, like, subscribe, follow, do all the things so I can share more healthy-ish recipes with feel-good ingredients. See you next time.